Saint Augustine commentary on Psalm 81 following. And my people obeyed not my voice, verse 11. For he would not speak these things except to his own people. For we know that whatsoever things the law says, it says to them that are in the law. Romans 3:19. And Israel did not listen to me. Who? To whom? Israel to me. O ungrateful soul, through me the soul, by me the soul called, by me brought back to hope, by me washed from sins. And Israel did not listen to me, for they are baptized and passed through the Red Sea. But on the way they murmur, gainsay, complain, are stirred with seditions, ungrateful to him who delivered them from pursuing enemies, who leads through the dry land, through the desert, yet with food and drink, with light by night and shade by day. And I let them go according to the affections of their heart. Verse 12. Behold the press, the orifices are open, the lees run, and I let them go, not according to the healthfulness of my commands, but according to the affections of their heart. I gave them up to themselves. The apostle also says, God gave them up to the desires of their own hearts. Romans 1:24. I let them go according to the affection of their heart, they shall go in their own affections. There is what ye shudder at, if at least you are straining out into the hidden vats of the Lord, if at least you have conceived a hearty love for his storehouses, there is what ye shudder at. Some stand up for the circus, some for the amphitheater, some for the booth in the streets, some for the theaters, some for this, some for that, some finally for their new gods. They shall go in their own affections. If my people would have heard me, if Israel would have walked in my ways, verse 13. For perchance that Israel says, Behold, I sin, it is manifest. I go after the affections of my own heart. But what can I do? The devil does this. Demons do this. What is the devil? Who are the demons? Certainly your enemies. And to nothing all their enemies I would have brought down, and on them that oppress them I would have sent forth my hand. Verse 14. But now what have they do to complain of enemies? Themselves are become the worst enemies. For how? What follows? Of enemies ye complain. Yourselves, what are you? The enemies of God have lied upon unto him. Verse 15. Do you renounce? I renounce. And he returns to what he renounced. In fact, what things do you renounce except bad deeds, diabolical deeds, deeds to be condemned of God, thefts, plunderings, perjuries, manslayings, adulteries, sacrileges, abominable rites, curious arts? If therefore all those works shall not possess the kingdom of God, ye not the works but they that do such things. Galatians 5:21. For such works there shall be known in the fire, for they shall not, while burning in that fire, be committing theft or adultery. But they that do such things shall not possess the kingdom of God. They shall not therefore be on the right hand with those to whom it shall be said, Come, you blessed of my Father, receive the kingdom, because they that do such things shall not possess the kingdom of God. If therefore on the right they shall not be, there remains not but that they must be on the left. To those on the left, what shall he say? Go ye into eternal fire, because their time shall be forever. Explain to us then, says one, how those that build wood, hay, stubble on the foundation do not perish, but are saved, yet so as by fire. An obscure question indeed that, but as I am able, I tell you briefly. Brethren, there are men altogether despisers of this world, to whom nothing is pleasant that flows in the course of time. They cling not by love to any earthly works, holy, chaste, continent, just, perchance even selling all their goods, and distributing to the poor, or possessing as though they possessed not, and using this world as though not using it. 1 Corinthians 7:30-31. But there are others who cling to things allowed to infirmity with a degree of affection. He robs not another of his estate, but so loves his own, that if he loses it, he will be disturbed. He does not covet another's wife, but so clings to his own, so cohabits with his own, as not therein to keep the measure prescribed in the laws, for the sake of begetting children. He does not take away other men's things, but reclaims his own, and has a lawsuit with his brother. For to such it is said, Now indeed there is altogether a fault among you, because you have lawsuits with each other. 1 Corinthians 6:7. But these very suits he orders to be tried in the church, not to be dragged into court, yet he says they are faults. For a Christian contends for earthly things more than becomes one to whom the kingdom of heaven is promised. That the whole of his heart does he raise upward, but some part of it he drags on the earth. Therefore, if you love your possession, yet dost not for its sake commit violence, dost not for its sake bear false witness, dost not for its sake commit manslaughter, dost not for its sake swear falsely, dost not for its sake deny Christ. In that you will not for its sake do these things, you have Christ for a foundation. But yet because you love it and art saddened if you lose it, upon the foundation you have placed not gold or silver or precious stones, but wood, hay, stubble. Saved therefore you will be, when that begins to burn which you have built, yet so as by fire. For let no one on this foundation building adulteries, blasphemies, sacrileges, idolatries, perjuries, think he shall be saved through fire, as though they were the wood, hay, stubble. But he that builds the love of earthly things on the foundation of the kingdom of heaven, that is upon Christ, his love of temporal things shall be burnt, and himself shall be saved through the right foundation. And he fed them of the fat of wheat, and from the rock with honey he satisfied them. Verse 16. In the wilderness from the rock he brought forth water. Exodus 17:6. Not honey. Honey is wisdom, holding the first place for sweetness among the viands of the heart. How many enemies of the Lord then that lie unto the Lord are fed not only of the fat of wheat, but also from the rock with honey, from the wisdom of Christ? How many are delighted with his word, and with the knowledge of his sacraments, with the unfolding of his parables? How many are delighted, how many applaud with clamor? And this honey is not from any chance person, but from the rock. But the rock was Christ. 1 Corinthians 10:4. How many then are satisfied with that honey, cry out and say, it is sweet, say, nothing better, nothing sweeter could be thought or said, or yet the enemies of the Lord have lied unto him. I like not to dwell any more on matters of grief. Although the psalm ends in terror to this purpose, yet from the end of it, I pray you, let us return to the heading, Exalt unto God our helper, turned unto God.